Another way I want to illustrate this is I want to take a quote from Forrest Gump, where he said something that was quite intelligent, and it's ironic, but he said, I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is." What Forrest was saying, in essence, is that he had a small soul, that he had a limited capacity. In 1 Thessalonians 5:14, Paul said, "Encourage the faint-hearted." Literally, what faint-hearted means is small soul. And this is what I want you to see. Everybody has a different capacity. That's what Forrest was saying, basically, even though he was not he was not trying to be theological. He said, "I'm not a smart man." Meaning that he had a fastball that wasn't all that fast. And when you are meeting with someone, that is something that you want to discern about the individual. You're not judging them harshly, but you are judging them. Or maybe you prefer the word assessing. You are assessing them charitably because you want to discern the kind of person that they are. If you don't try to discern the person that you are helping, you may end up frustrating them because you're not only expecting them to be more than they can possibly be, but you end up pushing them into ways that they just cannot become what you want them to be in the way that you are pushing them. And so there is a lot of discernment and wisdom. There's a lot of Bible guidance that's necessary when you interact with a person because everybody has a different capacity. And so on this screen, I have two individuals. One is Forrest Gump and the other one is Steve Jobs. Forrest Gump had a limited capacity. I would say that Steve Jobs had a larger soul capacity. He had ability that Forrest Gump did not have. And then we have Paul the Apostle. I would say that he was even a larger souled individual. And then I would say we have Jesus in his humanity, that he had a massive soul as far as the human condition is concerned. And so what we have here are four different people. And if you were coming alongside any of these four people, you have to recognize this aspect of shaping influences. And so you want to ask the Lord to give you insight, this kind of insight into the person that you're talking to. As far as said, I'm not a smart man. And so if you are interacting with a person who is not smart, you want to, one, recognize that. And then two, you have to discern, is this a competency issue? Is this a capacity issue? Or is this a character problem? Now, it could be that you're interacting with a person that's not smart because they're lazy, that they're not a diligent person, that they have the capacity. Let's say that you are counseling Steve Jobs and he was not smart, but he has the capacity to be smart. Well, then that is not a built-in ceiling like what Forrest has. And so he has the potential to become more than what Forrest is as far as his intellect is concerned. And so you're not judging harshly, you're not judging in an unfair way, but you need to make these assessments because everyone is not the same, and everyone has different shaping influences. And so you want to understand their soul. In another webinar called The Skill of Asking Questions, which you can watch because I'm not going to repeat that information here, but I talked about the importance of the soul and understanding the different aspects of the soul, and I showed this graphic here that you see on the screen. The soul is a basket word, and it houses all the aspects of the soul. Like the body is a basket word, and it houses all the aspects of the body, the eyeball and the fingernail and the lungs and the hair and so forth. Well, all of those fit within the basket word of body. And so when you go inside the soul, you'll find a lot of different components or elements as you see on the screen. And I've listed them: spirit, mind, conscience, will, desires, emotions, motives, cravings, thoughts, intentions, strength, and heart. And there are more. But when you are trying to help a person, going back to Forrest Gump again, you want to recognize that he has a limited capacity, as he said, and true. It is legit. He has a limited capacity, and understanding that, and then understanding the different aspects of his soul, your goal is to come alongside him and help him to fulfill his capacity, whatever it is, even though his fastball will never go faster than 45 miles an hour. Steve Jobs, on the other hand, has a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. If he's throwing at 45, then you want to work with him because he can do much better than that.